Welcome one all. Today we'll be learning about the argument ad hominem and the argument ad populum fallacies done by group 6. Before we proceed, first of all, we need to define a fallacy. A fallacy is defined as a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound argument, or in logical terms, a failure in reasoning which renders an argument invalid. Now that we got the definition of a fallacy, we can now move on. First of all, something we all might notice is that the phrases argumentum ad hominem and argumentum ad populum aren't your average English words. That is because these phrases are actually in Latin, and the definition of these phrases are as follows. The argumentum ad hominem translates to the person in English, and the argumentum ad populum translates to argument to the people. Now, the argument ad hominem is simply defined as attacking the person making the argument rather than the argument itself. When the attack on the person is completely irrelevant to the argument the person is making. Now, this fallacy can also be known as personal abuse, personal attacks, the abusive fallacy, damning the source, and name calling, etc. For a simple logical example, person 1 is claiming Y. Person 2 claims person 1 is an idiot, therefore Y is not true. Now, for a better example, we could say my opponent may suggest I should remove alcohol out of my proposition. Now, this is coming from a person or woman who eats a bag of Kisses chocolate each night. You see, the problem that's wrong with this is that the fact that the woman loves eating her chocolate has nothing to do with me removing alcohol from my proposition. It is irrelevant to the argument, and this hominem attack and hominem attacks in general are made out of desperation when one person cannot find a decent counter argument. And this is something we all can agree with, because we all have arguments on our day-to-day lives, and we can all agree that sometimes we have those types of people that always argue the wrong topics or make claims to the wrong thing. However, when we move on, there are some exceptions when the attack on the person and the argument is relevant to said argument, and therefore it's not a fallacy. Now, the argumentative ad populum. This can be defined as a fallacy of attempting to win popular assent to a conclusion by arousing the feeling and enthusiasms of the multitude. In simpler terms, it is basically a fallacious argument that basically concludes that a proposition or argument must be true, or a fact must be true, because many or most people believe it. A simple example of this would be like religion. Christianity is one of the most popular and well-known religions, but people might believe that is wrong, and not people will believe that it's wrong, and people might believe it is true. Why? Because there are also religions such as Islam that are now rising in popularity. A simple logical example of this would be why is true because a lot of people say so. Now, we've all heard this before, sometime in our lives or in some argument, and all those people, and we all thought at one point, all those people can't be wrong if everyone believes it, right? An answer to that is no, because it raises the question, how much people have to believe in the argument for it to be true? Also, if X amount of people believe it in order for it to be true, what happens if X believes it and one of them stop believing in it? And another thing that can arise from this question is, what if X believes something that can contradict what X believes? That's why this fallacy is one that's a bit touchy and it's highly opinionated in my opinion, it's highly opinionated. That concludes our presentation on these two fallacies, and the references to where the information was taken from with our group will be in the link below. Thank you.